between the Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie, in on the tackle.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Mayfield now on second down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And that takes us from second to third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Now a man who punted for the Broncos for 6 years, Britton Colquitt on to kick it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Being chased out left. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. It's a big play there for the Browns. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 10 more there and another first down. They'll run with Chubb. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. To throw, Mayfield. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And that's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Here we go now. Green 39, green 39. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Detroit! No. Check. Patriot!
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. They run again on first down, Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And that is incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know we're doing this game live, but let's step into the film room for just a second, because when they review this play, oh, the negatives are going to be incredible on this one. Rolling out to his right. Yeah, he's right-handed, so that's a natural spot for him. But he throws back across his body back into traffic.
Big no-no.
Oh, that's a monster no-no. The only good thing that happened, it fell incomplete. Very fortunate.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Antonio Callaway, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Lucky 56.
They'll toss it to Hunt, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Hey. Watch it now, Barney.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Room to run inside the 40. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play.
Under 10.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Down right around the 25. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Buying time to his left. Over the middle to Beckham. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the gun, Mayfield. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Lucky 56. Here we go now.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. Dancing to his left. Going deep here for Landry. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. They'll drop to throw. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. They run with Hunt. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Now it's Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And that one blown up quickly. as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. DeMarcus Walker, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They go play action. Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down throw for Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be caught. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 50 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. A run for Nick Chubb, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Browns add on to their lead. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 65 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw here. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Larry Ogunjobi in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 5. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Detroit!
Following the interception, Mayfield looking deep downfield. And got his man complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They go play action here on first down. To the right side and complete to Njoku. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And again, it's Chubb. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Handoff comes to Chubb, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now Mayfield. That's taken in by Callaway. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Von Miller in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Right back to him on first down. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Well, he just bumped up his personal stats with the second score, but they still have some ground to make up.
Not terrific for today because of what you just said. They're still down on the scoreboard. But later in the year, when he piles it all up and starts to think about contract time, that's a pretty good deal for him. And I know darn well that you've got him in fantasy football, don't you?
I don't. You always think I just
that.
appreciate that you think I'm smart enough to have him in fantasy.
Well, you are.
Thanks. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. That's out to Chubb, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the